let's start with how did this deal come to be? What can you talk about? How long has it been in the market? In the go?
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been trying to put this transaction together for a long time. Throughout the history of Wind, we've had a lot of regulatory and legal battles to get to where we are today. And I'm really happy it came together because we now have a platform to continue to offer our market-leading value proposition, for months and years to come. So it's a great outcome for Wind and for Wind customers and stakeholders.
So you were telling us nothing's really going to change. Wind's business model is sound. We talked earlier in the summer at the Canadian Telecom Summit. You told us that Wind is here to stay. There's a good opportunity for Wind next year, the AWS 3 auction. You even inferred that might be something you'd be interested in doing before the announcement of the auction. Where do you go from here?
Yeah. So Daniel, clearly we've got to long-term, we've got to acquire more spectrum, and we've got to roll out an LTE network. So that's obviously a big part of our long-term plans, to improve our coverage, improve our network, to continue to offer our position in the marketplace is good value for money. We're not trying to, we've never been the cheapest, we don't want to be the cheapest. We're good value. We offer really good value with our unbundled or unlimited, our unlimited plans, and we want to continue to do that with an enhanced customer service experience. So we think we're doing a good job of that right now. We've got ways to go to improve. And mostly it's about improving our coverage. So that's where the additional investment's got to come in, and obviously then rolling out a faster network, an LTE network, so we can continue to meet the demand that in growth in data. It's clearly explosion in demand.
So you will be participating in next year's auction?
Whether it's the AWS spectrum that's up in the marketplace today, there's 700 spectrum in the marketplace today, there's AWS 3 coming, there's 2500 coming. Where we are today is we don't have enough spectrum to roll out an LTE network. So the many different potential, when we started there was none, but now there's a lot of different places we can get that spectrum, and so our plan is to go out and get the spectrum we need and then roll out an LTE network in the coming months and years. I mean, obviously it's a long-term plan.
So now that Globalive has acquired the remaining share from VimpelCom, how does your role in the company change? What are you doing now on a day-to-day basis at Wind?
So no, we're not announcing any management changes now. We may do so in the future, but for now it's absolutely business as usual. There's no changes to the team, and I'm really proud of the team and everyone's persevered through. I mean, you followed it, so yeah, everyone's persevered through an incredibly challenging time for Wind. We now have a stable ownership, stable long-term ownership, a consortium of very sophisticated investors that see the long-term opportunities, see the viability of our business plan. So I feel like our business plan and Wind itself has been validated. And so we're going to continue on the track we're on now. It's business as usual, and Wind is here to stay.
So last summer, I mean, it seems like forever ago, June, July 2013, a lot of talk of Wind. They didn't know where Wind stood in the market. It seems like since then you've ramped up your customer acquisition. A lot of that has to do with your partnership with T-Mobile in the States and your unlimited US roaming plan. These kinds of services, they seem almost impossible for the big three to offer. Is it because Wind is small that it's nimble, that it can perform these kinds of feats of I guess partnership that none of the carriers in Canada can?
I don't know why the big guys don't. I think that the reality is that the way Wind has positioned itself is a value for money offering, and we've since inception focused on unlimited as our differentiator. So we've always been out there with unlimited offerings for voice, data, text, and so on, and that's what sort of differentiated us from the big guys. But we've never been out there as the cheapest option either, and we obviously know that in order to actually deliver on our brand promise of unlimited, transparent offerings, we obviously need to invest a lot in our network, and we obviously need to continue to offer an enhanced customer service experience. So all the future is about that for us. It's about continuing to deliver on what we started 6 years ago, and we're into our 5th year of operations now, and now have a stable network, stable care and billing platform, and we want to build it out from here.
The partners that you went into for this deal, are they down the road going to be able to provide more capital for future investment in the network?
I think that there's a lot of capacity around the consortium, but of course I think everybody is also a very sophisticated, rational investor. So it's going to be subject to obviously the business proving itself, and it's going to be subject to considerations like what spectrum alternatives are there really out there, how fast do we roll out an LTE network, how do we meet the demand of our customer base and continue to give our customers what we promised them.
And to that end, you said that you're looking for more spectrum, but you also are looking for concessions from the CRTC on domestic roaming rates. Are you pleased with the decisions that have been recently made regarding unlimited or exclusivity agreements? And are you
roaming? Yeah.
On roaming?
Well, I think if you look at the evolution of the policy the government put in place for competition in wireless, because I think everybody in 2008, 2009 recognized we need more competition in wireless. There's been an evolution where the roaming environment has improved over that time. The government has taken steps, as you mentioned, their exclusivity. The government's taken steps to improve the roaming environment. Spectrum that we desperately need to continue to meet the demand is available to us now. So I think the government has made a lot of positive steps, but it's really up to us to deliver the value to our customers and bring that value plus offering to the marketplace, and go forward. That's really up to us.
So you don't see, you see it as a stepping stone to building your own national network rather than using competitors' towers to leverage their 3G networks.
We look at, there's no plan to, we've been a standalone carrier since inception. We've built all of our own infrastructure. It's our own network. We own all of our towers and rooftop antennas. That's all of our own infrastructure. We're not using any incumbent network to deliver the service we do to our customers. And that is our plan long term, is to continue to develop and enhance our own network so that we can offer the value we do today in the marketplace.
To the customers that you currently do service in your home areas, have you noticed since you've rolled out the dual carrier, the dual channel HSPA network, have you noticed that there's been a better response to Wind service?
Yeah, I think, we've never professed to be the technological leader in the marketplace, so we're running, as you mentioned, dual carrier HSPA plus, and what does that really mean? That, our network is fast enough. It's fast enough to meet the demand today, but obviously we can see that the growth in that demand. So we've got to look forward to investing in an LTE network longer term. Today, certainly, we are seeing good performance on our network, and we have to continue to improve our coverage. We still have black spots here and there to fill in, improve our coverage, and improve speeds where we can. But primarily what we want to do is continue that value plus position in the market and continue to give people a true alternative in wireless, a true competitive alternative.
I know that you personally and Globalive as an investment has an investment side. I saw you at the Next 36, the graduation ceremony. You've spoken about your passion in entrepreneurship and small businesses. Do you see there being a crossover between Globalive and Wind and sort of the growing alternative uses for 3G? And, the Internet of Things.
Very much so.
Smartwatches and things like that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I'm really excited about the Internet of Things, and I think that our network, will have the capabilities. Our goal is to have the capabilities to deliver on some of those cutting-edge solutions, and that's the exciting part about the future. Me, I'm an engineer by education, so I love sort of trying to push the envelope on technology and getting out in front of it. And the Next 36 is an amazing entrepreneurial boot camp, if you will, that I'm really proud to support. So I'm a big believer in supporting younger entrepreneurs in Canada. I know when I started up, I started Globalive with no capital, no relationships, no connections truly from zero. I started with a small business loan from the Royal Bank for $50,000. That's how Globalive started. And obviously the history then has been there, a lot of investment over years, and obviously many hundreds of millions of dollars has gone into Wind. So I really believe in the entrepreneurial story, and I think my story is proof, actually living proof, that anyone can do it. Because I didn't start with any advantages in life, and I'm not a rocket scientist. Not by no means the sharpest tool in the shed, but I work hard, I show up every day, and I'm consistent. And I think that's what I try to send the message to young entrepreneurs, is that if you're disciplined, and you persevere, you're focused, and you don't give up, you're going to get results. You're going to get success, however you define it. And I try to say to everyone too, don't define it just as starting up your own business necessarily. Not-for-profit, social enterprises, within big corporations, there's so many opportunities for entrepreneurship in Canada, and we need so much to support entrepreneurship in Canada to help make our economy, our country, more successful, more competitive globally. We've got a shortfall, in my opinion, in the entrepreneurial spirit in Canada, and that's why through platforms like the Next 36 or the Mars Accelerator program, the 111 program, I'm involved in all of those accelerators because I think that supporting our entrepreneurs is key for our long-term success in Canada.
Do you foresee a time when, like in 2008, when smartphones were a burgeoning business, but by no means as big as they are today? Do you see a time when another type of screen, another form factor, if you will, is going to be the predominant input?
We'll see what happens with the watches, but I personally think that if you think of connected screens in an LTE environment, I guess then we can start talking about a 5G world where it's again another exponential leap in throughput and availability of the network, speed, and flexibility of the network. So I think you can envision a world of connected screens throughout your home. Obviously, the fully connected home is something that's right upon us right now. The smart home technologies are already all out there, and even like big retailers like Sears are selling. So the Internet of Things is really upon us. Smart meters is one that people always talk about, but I think if you think about the rest of your home being connected in a 5G world, like a smart world, a self-adapting kind of environment, I think that there's, the applications are endless, obviously. In terms of like different screens, though, I think that I personally am not much of a believer in the watch solution. I've tried it. I haven't tried the iWatch, but I've tried the Samsung one for a number of months, and I just can't make better use of it than it could just be that, yeah, I can just find it's not as useful. Now, if you go for a run or you're working out or something like that, then I think that it's easier. It definitely is good for stuff like that, where you can get reminders and get quick hits of info without having to actually pull out your phone. But as a regular business tool, I think I don't quite see it yet. Tablets, certainly, like I've moved my whole computing experience, I've moved to tablet. I've completely eliminated a laptop.
Which tablet?
I'm Samsung.
Samsung all the time.
Yeah, so and it integrates so well. I love the Samsung screen mirroring technology. So I put my Samsung tablet on any Samsung screen, and it works fantastic actually. So yeah, I'm a Samsung. I'm an Android guy person.
So that's also, I spoke with you about this earlier in the summer. It seems like the rise of Wind has also mirrored the rise of Android in a way. The growth of Android is incredible. You seem to have a great relationship with Samsung, who is the leading Android manufacturer.
For sure.
How has that sort of helped Wind's business model, since the idea of when you came to market, you had to educate people about the idea of a subsidy and educate them away from the idea that you're not buying a $200 phone, you're buying a $700 phone that the carrier is subsidizing and building into their costs for your monthly plan. And your monthly costs are separate. You buy the phone and then you can buy the plan, or you can work the cost of the phone into the plan as a separate amount, and once the phone is paid off, you just pay that you continue paying your plan. How difficult has that been when the carriers have been pushing that subsidy model so hard? And with companies like Apple selling $800 phones for $200, you have that disconnect between consumers and the actual devices.
Well, as you know, a big part of our offering is a BYOD, a bring your own device offering. So iPhones, we have over 35,000 iPhones on the network now. It's like 5% of or almost 5% of our customer base. So we certainly encourage people to bring their own device. Samsung, we do have a great partnership with, and I think I would agree with you that the growth of Android has been phenomenal, and it's helped Wind as well, because it's truly, when we started the business, it was all about iPhone and BlackBerry, and now the market has evolved so much. There's so many more devices, so much more flexibility with Android, so many more manufacturers. It's truly not dissimilar to the PC versus Mac world from the 90s, where there were so many manufacturers manufacturing PC hardware and only Apple doing Apple stuff that you ended up with a explosion of Windows, of Microsoft. And I think we're seeing that with Android now. Consumers are certainly adopting Android at like a blistering pace, and we can see in our customers an incredible adoption in the Google Play Store, for example, bringing apps down. The concurrency on the network is growing so rapidly as people start using multiple apps concurrently, and you start to have increasingly multitasking functionality on that. Like an example, on the Samsung, the S5 or the Note 3, you have true multi-function capability, right, where you can be running 10 apps at once. It's so easy to switch between apps. So there's some great multi-screen action going on the tablet. It's a Samsung tablet, great multi-screen functionality, which I'm sure you've seen, where you can actually have 4 apps going at once now. Easily, and you can see them all clearly, and they all work well. And so it's awesome, actually, what's happening in the tablet world.
Just one last thing about Apple. You do have 35,000 iPhones in the network, despite not having a distribution deal with them. Do you think moving to being a more consolidated effort, do you think the growth on the network, approaching a million activations, do you think that could bring the iPhone finally to Wind?
I think, again, as the world's evolving to a BYOD environment, and you started to talk about how we're offering transparent financing, which we do at Wind, we're sort of disintermediating that whole concept of a subsidy and really giving people transparent financing for their handset, which is what Canadians want. Canadians want financing for a phone that wants to be $800. They also need to be, not, in our opinion, having a transparent financing plan. And that is what we offer at Wind. There's no baked-in additional costs anywhere, and you can take financing or not, and you can bring your own device or not. And our prepaid and our postpaid price plans are all the same, so you're not advantaged or disadvantaged to the customer, regardless of how you sign up with Wind. So we want to continue that business approach, which we think greatly simplifies the mobile experience, greatly simplifies and frankly enhances the customer experience overall, and allows us to actually, it also helps us deliver more value, because it actually is easier for us to deliver too. So I think that simplification of the industry is what we're all, transparency is what we're all about, and I think we're delivering well on that.
So no comment on the iPhone?
As I say, we've got a BYOD offer, and we're going to continue to do that. So I mean, that's all I'm comment on. I don't see us in the near term entering a region with Apple. That's
well, no, I mean it does seem with Videotron selling the iPhone, it seems like that's a possibility that Apple's working with small carriers.
Certainly, we could do that. I mean, and so we're assessing it. But because there's already 35,000 iPhones on the network, we don't feel an urgency, to do that. We have a SIM-only offering that we feel is consistent with our brand promise, and so we're going to keep going that way for now.
So between now and the beginning of the spectrum auctions next year, what are we going to see from Wind?
It's business as usual. We're here to stay. It's business as usual, and that's nothing more today. And you're not going to see anything revolutionary from us, other than we're going to continue to deliver on our brand promise of good value for money and enhance customer service. So it's analogous to the T-Mobile positioning in the U.S. We think we're delivering on that brand promise.
I just want to quickly ask about your opinion of Jean Leger and the Uncarrier movement in the U.S. Do you see Wind as being a potential Uncarrier in Canada?
I think we are the Uncarrier of Canada. I think that if you look at how our plans are transparent, the way our offering is structured, we are clearly a value plus offering, and we're delivering on that with all the things we do today: the unlimited rate plans, the transparent handset financing, the fair and honest position and delivery. So I think we are there already. We're different in the sense that it is a Canadian version. So we're not, I don't know exactly what that means.
You're nicer.
Yeah, we're not inflammatory. We're not trying to create fights. Mm-hmm. We're out there working hard to deliver on our brand promise, and we're not trying to provoke, any kind of fight unnecessarily. We think that we have a good position. We know who our customer is, and we deliver to our customer what we think, what they're telling us that we want. And that's another big thing about Win is we listen to our customers. You can see our engagement level online. We're always listening to our customers and doing the best we can to meet what they're asking us for, which has been pretty consistent. Give us fair and honest plans. Differentiate with unlimited. Give us the unlimited. Give us transparent financing. I mean, it's pretty consistent. I don't want to worry about my cell phone bill anymore. That's a huge theme still today, and that's what we offer. So,
okay, great.
Thank you very much.